right, everyone. We welcome you back for the basketball contest and for the battle in the 7-4-0 here at Shawnee State University in the Waller Gymnasium. Here for this basketball matchup, brought to you by Julian Jackson alongside Seth Donahoe for this game between Minford and New Albany. New Albany up from Central Ohio and Minford from down in this area. Seth, you got to know. Tell me a little bit about Minford. What do you say? What do you know?
Well, last season they finished 22-2, and actually finishing ranked number 1 in the Associated Press final basketball poll. Undefeated and won in the larger division of the Southern Ohio Conference. They were actually beaten by North Adams in the Division III District Championship game, who we saw North Adams play earlier today against Bishop Hartley, and fell to a 1-point loss in overtime. The years prior, Minford hasn't been known for having the best basketball program, but here over the past couple of years, they've been able to turn it around. And like I said, you're able to get ranked number 1 in the Associate Press final basketball poll. That's telling you something for high school basketball.
That is very solid, Seth. Thank you for that overview. And a missed basket there by number 32 is Chase Bowles of New Albany, and the Eagles are going to have to find their way hitting stride in this one. And a big 3-point shot attempt from a big man, Jackson Shoemaker, is off the mark. We're 0-0 after a minute into this contest. However, we're looking for a couple good ones. This is the second to last game in our slate of 7 games here at Shawnee State University. We appreciate you hosting, and we appreciate all of our viewers as you're watching this, presented by Yamo Sports here, and it's free today on YamoMedia.com. You can also stream this on the Yamo Media app, as another 3-point shot is just off the mark from Miles Montgomery at Minford. And these Falcons, we talked to Coach earlier this week, and he said, you know, they're finding their footing. They are not a traditional basketball program by any means, but they keep digging. Heck, they finished 22-2 last year, so they're a very solid team. I wouldn't say that, you know, this probably wouldn't put them in the elite basketball program category. As a great steal coming up by Miles Jackson, and he finishes to get the first buckets on the board.
And finally takes the lid off of that rim here over 2 minutes into this first quarter.
And we've got everybody here working. Troy Rhodes, one of the starters for this team, and this 3-point basket shot up by Bennett Kaiser is no good. Good drive deep on the inside by Braylon Nash, and this ball is going to fall out of bounds. New Albany will retain possession.
We're actually going to get a foul called here on Minford's number 11, Jeffrey Pika.
Oh, a little reach-in, perhaps. You got to be careful. You never know.
Yeah, and one thing that we would also like to mention here,
wow,
for those who
got
don't
breaking
know,
news out of Columbus.
The Columbus Crew winning the 2023 MLS Cup. Exciting because Columbus does win it, and right here in our home state of Ohio. So I'm sure Columbus is going to be celebrating pretty excitingly tonight.
We've got Columbus, Crew, and then we have Cincinnati FC. They beat Cincinnati FC last week. Went on to host the championship tonight, and they were able to bring that home. So I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. Nothing like when you win a Buckeyes national championship in Columbus.
Yeah.
I think the Crew's underappreciated. They also won an MLS Cup in 2019.
Yes.
Prior to getting their new stadium built, which is now lower.com. But with a new coach this year, they have some great success. So congratulations, Columbus Crew. And a bucket is down and good for Chase Bowles. He's going to go to the line to shoot one more. 4:54 on the clock. 4-0 for New Albany over Minford.
Yeah, it's nice to see, 2014 Ohio State winning that national championship. Since then, Blue Jackets have been in some playoff contentions. They're still trying to turn some things around. Columbus Crew, as you mentioned, 2 championships here in the past few years. So Columbus sports turning around. I'm sure for some Buckeyes fans, they wish that there could be a little bit better outcome these past few seasons, but it is what it is. Hey, we'll take a Columbus Crew championship any day of the week.
Yeah, new coach for the Jackets, new coach for the Crew. Things are looking up in Columbus, and I don't think they necessarily. Great steal here. Miles Jackson coming back to the bucket.
Bennett Kaiser giving that one up and
How's that thing knocked away, though?
picking up the foul here. Just Miles Jackson doing a good job playing back and reading the eyes there of Kaiser.
4:34 to play in this first frame. Miles Jackson at the line. Makes the first of two.
And we have Darius Oleiwola checking in for New Albany, one of 7 seniors for this Eagle squad, and Tim Casey, first-year head coach for New Albany.
You know, they are stacked up. They've got a couple players out here in Braylon Nash, who was honorable mention All-State, first-team All-District, first-team All-OCC as a junior. So coming into a senior season, looking to repeat. They're going to be sad after this season, losing so many seniors, though. And this ball here falls out of bounds. They're going to call a foul, and it's going to be Miles Montgomery going the line to shoot two.
Yeah, they're going to be relying on their leadership of their seniors this year. I mean, that veteran group is versatile. We look at their roster providing excellent depth, too, so a lot of players able to be used in a lot of different ways. And, you know, they have a chance here to make a decent push here in the playoffs come February, March.
That's what everyone's hoping for. You know, slow and steady wins the race there, Mr. Tortoise. You don't always have to be the rabbit. So play your game, be disciplined, and get what you can get. And as my grandmother said, don't throw a fit. All right, 6-2 here. New Albany.
And then we look on the opposite end here. Minford, they only have 2 seniors on their squad, the rest being mainly juniors, a few sophomores and a freshman sprinkled in. So they've got some, they got some, definitely a future.
No, they've got room to grow. You build up. You just build up. You don't build back. You don't reload. You build. You get better all the time, every day.
Good hustle there by Kaiser to knock it out.
Under 4 to play. New Albany, ball's being taken out by Miles Jackson. And they're surveying the scene, seeing what they can get. 2 guards up at the top of the key. Miles Jackson giving it down to Braylon Nash. Jackson back with the ball, a couple fakes. And it just goes right through the hands of Ogbador. And boom, it's Miles Montgomery cutting the lead to 1.
Yeah, getting his team fired up after a nice pull-up 3 there on that left wing. Able to knock down nothing but net.
Seen a lot of big defensive action here as Miles Jackson is giving that thing up, and there on the inside, he finds Ogbador, and that's good for 2.
Ogbador, another returning senior, a guy that's gotten a lot of experience the past few years here for New Albany. Expect him to be used quite a bit throughout the season.
Montgomery draws for another 3-pointer, and this falls short. Hits the back of the rim. Miles Jackson, strike down, finds Ogbador. There we go, that's another 2. And a timeout from Minford.
Nice dump down pass to find Miles Jackson just wide open there on that left block. And Minford is going to go ahead and take a timeout here. We look over these highlights again.
See Ogbador there, and that's just excellent work.
Ogbador knocking down a nice little teardrop and then coming the other way. Jackson able to drive, penetrate. Defense steps up, and that just leaves a wide open Ole.
Finds Oleiwola on that one. I'm sorry, so it was Oleiwola and then Ogbador.
And not to mention, here's that pull-up 3-pointer by Montgomery from Minford on that left wing. Shoot it with confidence, son.
And he did. These guys jacked up. Hey, that's the second number 10, big on the highlights tonight. The other one was Braylon Copas?
Braylon Copas from North Adams High School.
They just fell short.
To Bishop Hartley in overtime.
51-50, that does the trick. That's all you need.
Branson Copas.
Branson, that's right.
Quite
another
the
number
athlete.
10, another tough kid.
Quite the athlete for a sophomore, able to create whatever kind of shot he wanted to, it seemed like.
That sure he was. Jeffrey Pico working on some New Albany defenders now. It's a big man. turnaround jumper, and he's going to, wow, they're falling all over each other. Guy took a little shot to the head. Hope he's okay. That attempt by Bennett Kaiser.
Inadvertently getting stepped on there. Should be all right there. But good job there by Kaiser, able to jab step, try to get a little separation, blow by, but good defense there by Jackson as he's able to recover, but Kaiser able to elevate and try and knock down that shot, gets fouled in the process.
Kaiser's going to shoot for 2. And I don't know if there was some confusion or I don't know, but Marco Matucci decided he wanted to box him out on that.
He was excited for that first shot.
That's good, I guess. Just make it a force of habit to get out there and get on the shooter. If that's his responsibility, I like it. That's being disciplined. Bringing up the ball now is New Albany. They lead by 3. Jackson with the ball. He's surveying the scene, gives it up to Nash. Nash now calling for some movement. Let's get it rolling, fellas. Kistner's moving to the right. Back up to Jackson. Jackson looking for a 3, fakes it. Down on the inside. Nash to Jackson. Jackson waiting for something else to develop. He's going to find Matucci. Matucci sends it back out to Kistner. Kistner to Nash for 3, and it's off the mark.
Good ball movement there by New Albany. Just didn't get the result that they wanted with a made shot, but you're going to notice this with some of these Columbus area teams. We've seen with Olentangy Liberty. We see here with New Albany. They're not going to really force too many shots. They're going to collect their plays, and they're going to try and convert when they can on their terms.
And a great turnaround jumper for Bennett Kaiser.
Kid's got a nice turnaround shot.
They're going to need that. They can use that all day long, and he's a long, lanky guy. And this little teardrop did not work out for Marco Matucci. Now Miles Montgomery, he's in control. Minford, deep 3. Used a little bit of backboard, doesn't work out. Tussling for the ball, and it's going to be off of Jackson Shoemaker. Turnover. New Albany will take over, and it looks like Matucci's going to go ahead and have a second to sit down and get a breather. Into the game for him is Sid Singh.
Talking about Bennett Kaiser and Miles Montgomery. The only 2 to score for this Minford team so far. 9 points. Kaiser has 4. Montgomery has 3.
Singh for 3, and it's off the mark. Rims out. Coming off the bench, and he said, I'm going to go ahead and see if this thing works.
He gave it his best effort. He got about halfway down before popping back out.
It's those unfortunate rims. That's the unfortunate rim tonight, if there is one. Bennett Kaiser trying to turn it around, can't get it. Good rebound by Rhodes, and it won't fall for him either. The lead is only 1. We've only had 19 total points scored in this first quarter.
Looks like they're
Singh with the ball.
Looks like they like to get Kaiser and Montgomery involved early and often here for Minford.
This one's going to rim out once again, this time for Nash. But they get the ball back. Sid Singh back to Nash. Nash, 3. That one won't fall. Nash gets his own rebound, puts it up at the buzzer, and it won't go. It's 10-9. New Albany and the Eagles leading the Minford Falcons. And you're watching the battle in the 7-4-0, presented by Yamo Sports.
You'll never guess what we're doing to the Baconator. We're putting it...
pretzel bun? On the Baconator. Catherine, you seeing this?
Posters everywhere.
What?
The Baconator you love with a new pretzel twist. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new pretzel Baconator.
Football there. Football there. Football everywhere! What? How is that a flag?
He landed on him after the sack. That's roughing the passer.
Huh. Okay, what if he hit him high?
Roughing the passer.
And low?
Roughing the passer.
Well, what if he couldn't stop his body like a human, so he ends up trampling him, and then he's like, oh no, and he tries to go back, and he tramples him some more, and he's like, I'm so sorry, I'm a buffalo. I don't know my strength compared to you.
Wait, what?
Come on, ref, let the boys play.
Welcome you back to the battle on the 7-4-0 here at Shawnee State University in the Waller Gymnasium for this basketball matchup between the New Albany Eagles and the Minford Falcons. We got a little sky battle going here. It's Julian Jackson here alongside Seth Donahoe for this game, and it ended up 10-9 after the first. And Now taking out this ball, and they've got a couple of leading scorers right now, Seth, but a bit of a slow start to this contest.
Yeah, and that's what you can expect with these two teams. They're not going to come out the most fast-paced. They're not going to score 20 points a quarter or anything like that, but they both play strong physical basketball. As number 13 there, Serum Agbador, is able to get the first points here this second quarter. Both teams are going to play physical. They're going to play strong, and they're not going to be forcing too many shots, as Kaiser got some contact there, but nothing called.
Kaiser would keep turning him around, but man, is he a hustler.
You know, we saw last game, Olentangy Liberty and Huntington High School out of West Virginia. That game ended in, I believe, 79-74. You know, those kind of teams, they have some size and strength, and they're able to score a multitude of ways. These teams not taking away any of their talent or anything like that. It's just two different play styles when it comes to, you know, teams like these. New Albany, again, like Olentangy Liberty, they're not going to force too many things. They're not going to force shots, force passes. They're going to play good, strong defense, and, you know, that's how they're going to try and win each and every game.
Different styles, and when you see a showcase like this, you've got to come to appreciate the different coaching styles, the different players who are presenting themselves, and just the way that they're making it work on their own. I mean, all of these games have been competitive. There have not been any blowouts now. There have been some stiff leads and extensive leads later on in the fourth quarter, but for the most part, each one of these contests today, out of the 6 we've had thus far, have definitely been competitive. And I mean, Reynoldsburg ended up kind of missing out to Fairland, but that was very late in the fourth. They ended up extending that lead to 21, I believe.
I think with 6 minutes left in that game, it was a 5-point game. A couple fouls and a technical foul extended it from 5 to 11 in a matter of a minute.
Great shot for Daniil Krylov.
But yeah, like you were just saying, you know, every team has their own identity. It's nice to play in a showcase like this where you're able to get your feet wet, dive in, and see what you can learn and expect going into the rest of this regular season. Again, majority of these teams, if not all, already have a couple regular season games under their belt. So this is just another game.
Krylov for 3, knocking it down for New Albany.
Timeout taken here by Minford. And this is what I was talking about with New Albany. They got the ball moving around. They find a guy wide open in the corner. And just like that, he's able to knock down the 3, Daniil Krylov, the sophomore.
And these guys they're coming out, and I think now that they're getting hot and now that they're finally shooting, they're just finding that separation is one of the biggest things that you look at. And taking a look over at New Albany's bench, they definitely have some depth to work with over there, but already we've seen several players, and they've got 7 seniors this year. And, you know, we want to give a shout out to the cheerleaders of Minford, and many of them, and ones we have listed here on our roster: Kate Wiseman, Carly Thurman, Cadence Doddridge, Maya Schonweiler, Riley Gilliland, Lily McHenry, Kendall Ramey, Grayson Coriel, Presley Taylor, Lexi Claxton, Miranda Johnson, Grace Galloway, Emily Cram, Callie Miller, Brylan Scarpfin, Addison Mullins, and Taylor Cron. Looks like they have a lot more than just those girls.
And I was going to say, just to name a few, you know, this is the second cheer squad, and it's nice to be able to, you know, have these cheer squads come out here supporting their teams and their programs like this. Of course, the other team that had ended up bringing their cheer squad was North Adams.
Yeah, North Adams, but they actually took a hike. I think that I misspoke earlier on. I said they were 90-something minutes, but I think they're about an hour away drive time, much less than that for mileage. But Minford's only 20 minutes down the road. You just looked up 12 miles maybe?
Yep.
So nothing crazy as this ball almost going out of bounds with a great effort from Miles Montgomery. And now on the other side with a quick fast break is Serum Agbador, add another 2 to his stat board.
Yeah, he's got 6 for the game, and he's going to be one of the key offensive pieces for this Eagles team this season.
And they're rotating around, finding their way. Krylov for 3.
Oh, that's going to be Bennett Kaiser for Minford.
Bennett Kaiser, I'm sorry.
I know, Julian, we have been here all day, but we have this game and one more left to go. We can power through this here.
Well, 14, no, you know what, I just completely got it wrong. Maybe I was thinking 14, got a little dyslexic in the moment, but I didn't. So Kaiser, though, knocking them down, that's going to be a good opportunity, and Kaiser unable to pull down that rebound this time around. So instead, Agbator working with the ball, and he gives it up to his teammate, Krylov. There's Krylov. And the big man in control of the ball, Chase Balls, back out to Agbator. Now to Sid Singh. Playing a little back and forth. Chase Balls to Sid Singh for 3, and this one won't go either. Great rebound there by Kaiser.
Kaiser doing a really good job this first half. Trying to keep his team in it. Only down 6 right now, but you need everything you can to try and get a win in a showcase game like this.
Well, Kaiser only a junior, but from what I understand, he was all district in all Ohio, so of course. And you don't know what you don't know until you find out, but Kaiser's definitely a player. Another big player, Miles Montgomery. He was the league player of the year in first team all Ohio. So you're looking at number 10 big player and number 41 for Minford being 2 big players to watch on the squad.
And those 2 have 12 of the 13 team points right now for these Falcons.
That makes sense. Yeah, that checks out for sure. We've got just under 4 minutes to play here in this second quarter. Agbator sends it out to Singh. Singh to Krylov. Singh back to Agbator, and now into the hands of Nash. Great ball movement here. Agbator, deep 2-pointer. No, it's going to be a 3. I keep on referring to the black line being the 3-point line, but that's the collegiate.
Yep.
He was comfortably behind that high school 3-point line, and he knocks it down for 3.
And once again, you see, first of all, how you're able to break it down. That ball gets passed inside to the free throw line. That's able to open up to the opposite wing and give Agbator time to shoot and knock down that 3.
Kaiser's shot contested by Agbator this time. They're going to say it was a foul instead, so Kaiser's going to go to the line. He's going to shoot 2 now in this one. Here's another look at this great 3-point shot by Agbator.
And that's what I was saying. You get the ball right in there to Bowles in the middle of the free throw line. That defense can collapse, and you're just able to pass it out for that knockdown 3 for Agbator. And then here on the other end, Kaiser driving it to the basket. And Agbator a little too physical in that one, sending Kaiser to the line.
Good, tough effort. Kaiser misses the first out of his 2 free throws here, hoping to knock this one down. Let's see if Agbator is going to put a body on the box out. And he does. So if you're in that position in that in the box, you know, you got to make sure someone has the shooter, and it's that top right position there on that.
Well, we did see in the last game against Olentangy Liberty and Huntington a couple missed free throws resulting in offensive rebounds, and that's not one thing. That is not a thing that you would like to see, not only if you're a player, especially if you're a coach, because that can just get the water boiling.
Krylov with some nasty English down beneath for 2.
Showing off his athleticism.
Absolutely. Krylov, I'd like to know more about him. I don't have a rap sheet for Krylov, but I need one. This kid's special.
One of 3 sophomores on this team, and so far getting some solid playing time.
And credits a rebound there. You know, and I think there's a little bit of an advantage to playing later on in the evening. If you get here a little earlier, you get to watch a couple games before you go out and play. So you get the last-minute reminders when you're not able to actually practice or contact with your coaches. I don't think there's another space for teams to have walkthroughs. So you can be out there, watch some other teams and say, hey, guys, remember what we talked about last night? Remember what we talked about this morning before we left the school? Hey, these are the things you need to remember. So it's a good last-minute reminder like, oh, crap, yeah, you know what? I need to box that guy out because they didn't do it at all, and it tore him up.
Yep.
So I'm interested to see what's going to happen in our last contest with South Point and Ashland.
Yeah, you see just honestly some simple mistakes that shouldn't be made as Agbator's 3 is off the mark. You see some mistakes that shouldn't be made, especially here when you're playing at the varsity level here for high school. Mistakes are extremely costly and can easily, with the tempo that most high school teams play with, turnovers can be so costly. Doing the little things right, the fundamentals can be costly. Once you get lackadaisical, get out of that zone, that's when you can be in trouble.
That's what I keep saying. You got to stress the 90% in practice of these fundamentals and, work on your team stuff there later on. As a great shot off the backboard goes here and it's credited to Jackson Shoemaker, the junior, big number 34. They got a couple of football-sized players on that Minford squad. One, Jeffrey Pica, and the other one, Jackson Shoemaker. Those guys look like they're some Division I defensive linemen.
Yeah, Shoemaker, he looks like he could plug up a gap there at the defensive line.
Matucci knocking down 3, adding something to the scoreboard for himself. That's his first score of the night. We're just under 50 seconds to play here in the second. It's 27-16, New Albany over Minford. New Albany also being one of those Division I type programs. I'm not positive where Minford's playing, but right now they're down by 11. Not doing so bad though. Like I said, they're Division III, but they've played in 22-1. Like I said, it's a tough conference. They're the Southern Ohio Conference. They play with teams like North Adams. They played them in the district championship game, and North Adams is a solid team. We saw that. We know this. So this is the true. They are the 7-4-0 when you talk about the battle here.
Yeah, and it's just tough. Last year's team graduated 4 seniors. That includes all district and all conference players, Joe Hanna and Adam Crank. Losing some offensive prowess like that, and then you're able to add a younger Miles Montgomery and Bennett Kaiser. Now this year, those two having to step up and, make this team theirs now.
These guys flipping and flying around, and now it's Marco Matucci getting up and taking a little offense to having been fallen over like that, but that's what happened. Bodies are flying around. Nothing's intentional. Yeah, he took some offense to that.
Back to what you said about Minford being a home team. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard during one of the last timeout, but when that cheer team came out onto the floor during one of the timeouts, I'd say about 70% of the stands were standing up and cheering with that cheer squad.
That's what happens when you're just from right down the road. I mean, Columbus doesn't travel as well. A lot going on in the city. Luckily, no football right now, though, but there was some football being played, and that's about it, as the Columbus crew went out and won another MLS championship earlier. 6.1 seconds to play in the third, and Montgomery does not make either of his 2 free throws. And a smart move by Caden Kistner to call a timeout with 2.7 seconds left. Coach leaned over on the bench and said, "Hey, just hit this timeout real quick, and we'll get moving here, fellas."
Yeah, they're gonna see if they can't draw anything up. And this is what we talked about here. This crowd, you see a whole lot of red out there. And here, if you guys can hear this cheer squad, look at some of these fans starting to get into it, starting to clap. 25 minutes down the road, as you said, this is basically a home game for these Minford Falcons.
And they gotta love it, though. Good hometown stuff, and hanging out down here by the Ohio River at Shawnee State University for the battle on the 7-4-0. Brought to you by Yamo Sports. Man, it's been a day. Cheerleaders over there, and there's a lot of other media professionals who are here as well. We've got both of our Battle Series banners down at the other ends of the floor. Along here, the Battle Series presented by, and we've got partnered up with Elevated Sports, and it's great. This is the first of hopefully many of these, and of course with all the sponsors you see now on your screen. As time ticks out, we're at halftime already. It seems like we just blinked. It's 27-16. The New Albany Eagles lead over the Minford Falcons. And we're at halftime. So we'll see you back in the third. You're watching the battle in the 7-4-0 on Yamo Sports.
You'll never guess what we're doing to the Baconator. We're putting it...
pretzel bun? On the Baconator. Catherine, you seeing this?
Posters everywhere.
What?
The Baconator you love with a new pretzel twist. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new pretzel Baconator.
Football there. Football there. Football everywhere. What? How is that a flag?
He landed on him after the sack. That's roughing the passer.
Huh. Okay, what if he hit him high?
Roughing the passer.
And low?
Roughing the passer.
Well, what if he couldn't stop his body like a human, so he ends up trampling him, and then he's like, oh no, and he tries to go back, and he tramples him some more, and he's like, I'm so sorry, I'm a buffalo. I don't know my strength compared to you.
Wait, what?
Come on, ref, let the boys play.
Man, Rick, these boys is out here getting it. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Hold up. You a football player, man. We talking basketball. My fault.
Hold up, bro.
They out here.
Man, I made all city balling. For Beechcroft, man. Come on, man. You
Okay,
remember?
respect.
No.
Well, look, they out here balling today.
Balling.
Hey,
balling.
Now I'm gonna tell you, you know what they should be doing when they done when the game over and they done balling. You know what they should be doing?
Training, trying to get better so they can go to the next level.
No.
What you talking about, man?
Man, they should be listening to us.
Oh,
Every
okay.
Saturday morning, man, they should be listening to the Rick and
Rick
Reese
Show.
show
You
on
right.
Joy 107.1 FM.
Okay.
And then go get with your trainer at about 11.
I ain't gonna forgive you for saying I ain't no baller, though.
Nah, it's all good, man. Super salute, man. They out here getting it in, man.
Yamo Media.
So, let's keep enjoying the game, man.
Yes, sir.
At the Ohio High School Athletic Association, our student athletes are going pro at being
coachable,
a good student,
responsible,
dependable,
respectful. I'm going pro at being a good student, a good student, a good teammate, responsible.
I'm going pro at being
coachable,
a good student,
dependable, a good teammate,
representing my school.
I'm going pro at being
a good student,
a good student,
responsible.
Let's go pro at respecting the game.
Respect the game.
respect the game,
respect the game,
Respect the game.
respect the game.
Hi, I'm Doug Ute, Executive Director of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. For more than 115 years, the OHSAA has promoted school sports as an important part of the student's educational experience. Interscholastic athletics teach participants lifelong lessons of hard work, teamwork, and self-discipline, along with sportsmanship, integrity, getting along with others, and overcoming adversity. One thing the pandemic has taught us is that being on a team with our friends is more important than ever before. So as you continue your journey in athletics, remember the importance of also working hard in the classroom. Always give your best, never give up, and have fun while you're doing it. As an Ohio native and former athlete who learned these same lessons myself, I encourage our young people to focus on your academics so that you can continue the privilege of participating on your team. After all, the lessons that school sports teach us today will prepare you for the wins and losses in life tomorrow. Education is the key to life's successes.
You'll never guess what we're doing to the Baconator. We're putting it
pretzel bun on the Baconator. Catherine, you seeing this?
Posters everywhere.
What?
The Baconator you love with a new pretzel twist. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new pretzel Baconator.
Football there. Football there. Football everywhere. What? How is that a flag?
He landed on him after the sack. That's roughing the passer.
Huh. Okay, what if he hit him high?
Roughing the passer.
And low?
Roughing the passer.
Well, what if he couldn't stop his body like a human, so he ends up trampling him, and then he's like, oh no, and he tries to go back, and he tramples him some more, and he's like, I'm so sorry, I'm a buffalo. I don't know my strength compared to you.
Wait, what?
Come on, ref, let the boys play.
Man, Rick, these boys is out here getting it. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Hold up. You a football player, man. We talking basketball. My fault.
Hold up, bro.
They out here.
Man, I made all city balling. For Beechcroft, man. Come on, man. You
Okay,
remember?
respect.
No.
Well, look, they out here balling today.
Balling.
Hey,
balling.
Now I'm gonna tell you, you know what they should be doing when they done when the game over and they done balling. You know what they should be doing?
Training, trying to get better so they can go to the next level.
No.
What you talking about, man?
Man, they should be listening to us. Every
okay.
Saturday morning, man, they should be listening to the Rick and
Reese
Reese show
You
on
right.
Joy 107.1 FM.
Okay.
And then go get with your trainer at about 11.
I ain't gonna forgive you for saying I ain't no baller, though.
Nah, it's all good, man. Super salute, man. They out here getting it in, man.
Yamo Media.
So, let's keep enjoying the game, man.
Yes, sir.
At the Ohio High School Athletic Association, our student athletes are going pro at being
Coachable.
A good student.
Responsible.
Dependable.
Respectful. I'm going pro at being a good student.
A good student.
A good teammate.
Responsible.
I'm going pro at being
Coachable.
A good student.
Dependable. A good teammate.
representing my school.
I'm going pro at being
a good student.
A good student. Responsible.
Let's go pro at respecting the game.
Respect 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 the game.
Hi, I'm Doug Ute, Executive Director of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. For more than 115 years, the OHSAA has promoted school sports as an important part of the student's educational experience. Interscholastic athletics teach participants lifelong lessons of hard work, teamwork, and self-discipline, along with sportsmanship, integrity, getting along with others, and overcoming adversity. One thing the pandemic has taught us is that being on a team with our friends is more important than ever before. So as you continue your journey in athletics, remember the importance of also working hard in the classroom. Always give your best, never give up, and have fun while you're doing it. As an Ohio native and former athlete who learned these same lessons myself, I encourage our young people to focus on your academics so that you can continue the privilege of participating on your team. After all, the lessons that school sports teach us today will prepare you for the wins and losses in life tomorrow. Education is the key to life's successes.
Yeah, we welcome you back now to Shawnee State University and Waller Gymnasium for the battle in the 740, brought to you by Yamo Sports. And the sponsors here we want to recognize this evening: Buffalo Wild Wings, Wendy's, the Scioto River, Subway, Glockner Family of Dealerships, Monroe's Collision, the Portsmouth Brewing Company, and of course Holiday Inn and IHG Hotel. You can tag our sponsors and hashtag BNT740. We thank you all for joining us once again. We start the second half 27-16 as New Albany leads over Minford. I'm Julian Jackson alongside Seth Donahoe for this basketball matchup, and we're underway.
And I'll tell you what, one of those sponsors, Sciota. See, I always struggle with the word.
Sciota, it's okay. Don't think about the spelling, just say the word, Sciota River. And it's ribs. Ribber.
Nonetheless, thank you to all of our sponsors.
We appreciate you and appreciate our viewers. And this shot is up and no good there.
Jeffrey Pika trying to get things started for the Falcons. Turnover here by New Albany as they're gonna, looks like Bowles stepped out of bounds on the baseline.
All right, so Jeffrey Pika, who ended up missing an opportunity on the other end, is gonna inbound it. It's gonna go to Miles Montgomery. Montgomery looking like a linebacker or a running back of sort for Minford.
I was just getting ready to say either Pika or Montgomery, I think you could hand the ball off to and they could get a 1-yard touchdown.
It could be a fullback, running back type situation. There's a couple big guys. Pika's driving on the inside, drops it off to Kaiser. Kaiser, funny jumper, won't fall. Battling on the inside against Jackson Shoemaker.
Oh, great outlet
to the basket is Braylon Nash, and he's going to finish, and he's fouled. Gets picked up by his teammates. He's fired up. He's going to go to the line to shoot one more. The lead's 13 for New Albany.
And Kaiser going to pick up his second foul. Great finish, though, right there by Marco Matucci.
And that's just a great pass moving forward by Miles Jackson to get the ball to Nash. Great job by Nash to finish, and he's found by Kaiser.
Apologies, the 3 and the 0. My vision's not the same as it once was, Julian.
That's all right. You said you're like 27 now, which is pretty much ancient if you compare to some of these these Gen Zers, or I don't even know what they call them anymore. I thought I was still hip when I was coaching and teaching, but I was far removed from some of my even 16, 17, and 18-year-old kids, and I was only 22. Now I'm much far beyond that, not even going to talk about how old I am now, but that doesn't matter. I'll keep calling it like I see it, and right now I'm seeing Minford making a comeback. Miles Montgomery for 3.
Nice pull-up there by Montgomery at the top of the key. He's got a couple threes now as he's trying to find his stroke.
And a beautiful shot there. Miles Jackson pulling up for the jumper, said, no, not so fast, Minford. You can't have it that easy. It's the battle of the birds here as the Eagles are taking on the Falcons of Minford. 6:16 to play. Kaiser working on a defender. He's going to find Miles Montgomery. He was eyeing that 3 ball.
Thought about it again.
And this one's stolen. And it's Agbator. Unable to finish, put back up again, and now Nash is going to get his paws on the ball.
One thing right there with Minford not hustling back. They thought that Agbator might have had an easy Euro step layup there, but instead, potential second chance points here for the Eagles.
Got to play all the way through the whistle. It doesn't matter what sport you're in. You have to play not just 2, but through the whistle now as Miles Montgomery is going to pick up a foul against Agbator.
Yeah, just had his hands in a little too tight. Did a good job sitting down and moving with the defender, but you got to be able to keep your distance. I'm sorry, not keep your distance, but keep your hands off in those tight defensive situations like that.
What I'm seeing right now from the Eagles, a good veteran group who's versatile, showing some strength, as Coach had mentioned, but they're communicating a lot. So while they might be physical and they might be able to move around well, they're communicating with each other. Some talking you're seeing on the court. I see Agbator sitting, pretty much back on the logo at half court saying, all right, guys, we're doing this, we're doing that. So these coaches on the floor come in all shapes and sizes, and leadership's what you need. They're going to miss out on that next year.
Yeah, and I mean, you couldn't have said it better than that, Julian. I was trying to think of another way to word it, but I mean, communication, especially in this sport of basketball, is key. I mean, these kids are playing at such a high speed with such high physicality and such aggression that you can't focus on 9 other players on the court as Kaiser's able to drive in and finish that layup. So it's good to have that kind of vocal leader on your squad. You mentioned Agbator. He's been doing a good job of that this year, especially in this game. I'm sure that he's going to be that guy that head coach Tim Casey is going to look to help those other 4 guys on the other 4 Eagles on the floor.
New Albany will retain possession as the ball's kicked off the foot of Kaiser. And they're going to send Marco Machuti down under the basket, or close to it rather, to inbounds this basketball. Let's see what he can find. Agbador sends it out to Machuti, and he throws the ball away. Now in the hands of Montgomery. Montgomery gives it to Kaiser. And with both Montgomery's a junior, Kaiser's a junior, they've got a promising future with this team. And instead they're going to get a turnover here, which is not looking too good here with 4 minutes and under 30 seconds left in the third.
Yeah, as I had mentioned, only 2 seniors on this Falcons squad. Number 2, Troy Rhodes, and number 11, Jeffrey Pica. That goes back to what we were saying, you know, Miles Montgomery, an all-district and league player of the year. Bennett Kaiser, all-district and all-Ohio. And they were doing that as sophomores. So I'm sure that, you know, they're going to rely heavily on those 2 guys this year and next year. And hopefully some of these other juniors and sophomores can step up here in the next year or 2. And, you know, they might feel like they have a down year this year, again, finishing last year 22-2, but that's not going to deter them from going out and, you know, playing hard every single night.
Touche to you, my friend, that it doesn't matter where you are in a game. The competitive nature of a teenager is not, it's a force to be reckoned with. I'll tell you that right now.
I know,
you know,
if
sometimes this is everything,
Yeah.
you know, for a lot of these kids, and some of them won't go on to play, and that's okay. That's their decision. But for those of them who are clawing at a chance to have an opportunity to play at the next level, that's what they're looking for. Great turnaround shot by Kaiser, a great attempt rather, and it won't fall, but he's fouled in the act of shooting, so he's going to go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, and we see this replay here. Actually, good offensive set here, and a great pass by Montgomery. Agbador doesn't like that call, but you got to be able to let that player come in or elevate up and down. Agbador with a little bit of contact as Kaiser misses that first one. One thing I've liked about seeing Bennett Kaiser's game is that mid-range game. If he's able to dial that in, he can be a force to be reckoned with, because with his size, he's able to elevate above any other defender. If he can work on that touch and work on that consistency, again, a real force to be reckoned with.
He's got the potential. It's a good player. Three-pointer is knocked down, and this time it's Miles Jackson, the junior for New Albany. They're going to extend this lead to 14 with under 3 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the third.
Miles Jackson, actually one of the few non-seniors on this team for the Eagles.
Miles Montgomery's three-point shot attempt comes up short. Digging down the floor is Braylon Nash. He'll finish.
Very quick, but good control there by Nash as he's able to take it all the way to the other end and extend this 37-21 lead.
And he almost got his hands on the ball there when they were inbounds in that basketball, and lucky that Minford was able to call a timeout. A great shot there by him. Pica inbounds in the basketball, and then another great effort by Nash, bringing it all the way down the floor and eluding
Miles Montgomery. Yeah, that's a great job there, especially moving that fast. You want to make sure that you stay in control, but you also have to, protect the ball. He did a good job right there at that last second when Montgomery tried to reach in. He was able to control that ball. A tough contested layup ends up being a pretty easy one when you're able to practice those fundamentals like that.
Well, a fully packed crowd here, as you just saw, and that's it's just a whole lot of people over there. You see the red, you see some white, but now we're getting everyone else from South Point and Ashland from Kentucky rolling in. And fun fact that South Point and Kentucky are only about 20 minutes apart. Kentucky just over the border, right over the river. It's insane to think about that. You know, you could probably throw if you had a nice arm, you'd probably throw a rock at the other prison school. And just playing so close together down here in the 740. It's amazing to think about. You think about 614, that battle up there in Central Ohio, and everyone being 614 area code, and well, there's 3 80s up there too.
Yeah.
But there's just so many schools you see. The great bucket there from Jackson Shoemaker getting himself on the board. You don't think about the tri-state when you get all the way down here. And you just think, oh, okay, yeah, Southern Ohio. But no, it's great to have teams like Huntington from West Virginia come into play, Ashland, and we've got tempers flying on the court right now. And one of those players from New Albany's, Caden Kistner, not having it.
Let's see what
We're going to wait
here.
for a call from the referee. We're going to do so the replay's up right now, and they're falling all over each other.
There you see Miles Montgomery take a little step right there over, you said that New Albany player here we see from this angle. Maybe
he didn't like the Tyronn Lue there. He did not like that.
So actually retaliation here by both.
Well, I think we're going to get a double technical. We'll see what the referees have to say, but I don't think it was a sign of disrespect necessarily. You're walking over somebody, and we'll take another look at it here once again. Yeah. But he just kind of just lackluster. He gets caught up a little bit, but then
and he
Kistner
doesn't. He doesn't actually get caught up. Yeah, Miles Montgomery does end up stepping over him. That can definitely be avoided on Montgomery's part. Maybe some frustration, but what you do is you see Darius Oleiwola actually grab the arm as Montgomery is stepping over. That's why Montgomery kind of stumbled a little bit. So 2 New Albany players actually taking that step over to heart there by Montgomery.
And hopefully we can just look at a couple double technicals, and we can go our separate ways and continue on playing this basketball game, because sportsmanship-wise, it's just not something that you want to see in these contests. Tempers flaring a little bit, sure, that's fine. The disrespect's not something you want to see. And then, of course, you saw Jeffrey Pika go and just snatch one of his guys, and Pika's not small by any means, and he just gets one of his guys by the jersey and just pulls them on over. And here's South Point ready to go, eyeing what to see on the floor coming up, and they've still got a little over 1 quarter to wait until they can come out for this contest. And right now, running a little bit behind still. I expect that game to start right around, I put an estimate about
maybe
8:30, maybe 8:40. And then we'll have a 15-minute warm-up in between. We're going to cut those down just a little bit. But having this discussion, hopefully we don't see anyone thrown out of the game for it. I don't think it warranted that. I think that just let everyone know, hey, this is your only warning that you're getting, and the next time something happens, we put a mark on you, and you're going to be out of this game. Not something you want to see in a showcase, Seth. Not something you want to see ever.
No, absolutely not. But you can't take it away from these kids. I mean, they're athletes. They're competitors. If you're winning, you're feeling good. If you're losing, you're feeling frustrated. It's just who, players are. Just naturally here you see again, Montgomery kind of putting his head down after that, does end up stepping over.
And Oleiwola, he stepped over Nash, and then Oleiwola
grabbed the arm of Montgomery.
Well, because he was leaning down. It seemed, to go ahead and pick up Nash, or I'm sorry, was it Kistner? It was Kistner. Yeah, he leaned down to go ahead and pick up Caden Kistner, and meanwhile he saw Miles Montgomery in the act of stepping over his teammate, which he took exception to. So he pulls his arm, and then Kistner gets up. He's all heated. So it looks like,
So this is actually. I'm going to say this real quick. It is a tough situation, but I am going to say that this is actually the right call here, and I think it's because Montgomery did step over Nash there. That's not really something that I would qualify as a technical, but right there when Oleiwola grabs his arm, the refs, I think, saw that as a retaliation in some way, and I believe that technical, is going to be distributed to, well, they have Agbador up there, but I believe it was actually Oleiwola. Again, just my personal opinion. After talking about it, I think the refs did get it right.
Well, they didn't get it right if they're charging that foul to Agbador. So I don't know if someone needs to talk to the scorers table, but you don't want that factor in late to the game. And with several, they had took 4 free throws, right? So It's a double T, but on New Albany, so maybe one for Agbador, but they credit it to the wrong guy.
Maybe. Well, that because you don't see him on the floor right now. I think it might have been assessed to Ola. Well, we got the ref over here talking to head coach Tim Casey. I think they're going to go ahead and stick with this decision here. But again, after going through it and looking over it, I do think the right call was made because of the retaliation by the New Albany players. Again, Montgomery stepping over the player, not something that you really like to see in the sportsmanship name of it, but the retaliation by both squads, and we're going to start seeing a lot more physicality in this game, ladies and gentlemen.
Kaiser, shot off the mark, rebound brought down, Shoemaker.
And Shoemaker, he's definitely, watch for Shoemaker. This is only his second foul, but he is going to use every bit of weight that he has against those smaller New Albany Eagles.
We're going to start to see some more screens. Hopefully this one doesn't get out of hand, but these teams from very far apart, but they're getting to know each other really well. And I will agree to disagree with you, merely for the fact with that technical that Montgomery stepping over that player may have been disrespectful, but may not have had malintent to it.
Exactly.
But the intention doesn't matter, and it goes out the window thereafter because of what happened. Now, the referees making the call that they made, they're going to stick with it.
Yep.
But referees will rarely see the first incident, and 99.9% of the time, they're going to catch the retaliation.
Exactly, and no matter what sport it is, high school, professionals, that's how it's going to be. And right here, Shoemaker picking up his second foul within the next minute or so. Shoemaker, you could see a little bit of frustration, some words being said he's kind of speaking in the direction, but there's definitely some talking going on down there. These refs understand what has just transpired here in the past couple minutes. So not only the refs, but both coaches both coaches have to make sure these kids keep their cool here.
And they're going to do their best to manage it. We have plenty of assistants and other coaches here on both sides of the floor who are going to do their best to keep everything smooth.
And I don't know why, but after all of that, you and I it seemed like a second boost of life, and you and I standing on our feet again.
And that's just a standard jump ball there. That's tough playing basketball. It doesn't matter if you don't like each other or not, but Shoemaker strips that ball right out of the hands of the attempted Miles Jackson, trying to put his paws on it. So the Falcons now
trying to find a little life here.
And they're only down 11.
This crowd trying to help wean their Falcons into it.
And Kaiser's going to throw this ball over the head of Shoemaker's. Not going to be able to get to it. They want to feed the big man down low. That might be one of their best shots, but he's in foul trouble. So if he does anything else, and heck, he has 3 fouls now, Seth.
Yeah, well, that's what I was just getting ready to say. With 3 fouls, 2 of them being picked up in the past couple minutes, he is one of the players that has, unfortunately, a target on his back on these referees. And not in the bad way, in just the way that those past couple fouls have transpired after those technical fouls. Everybody is being watched extra closely now.
Miles Jackson trying to reset, get his team all together. Nash with the basketball. And they're working that perimeter, swinging it around. Miles Jackson's going to pull it back out, left wing. He's getting doubled up on, going to find a way out. He's going to be taken away. Miles Montgomery, left hand layup, no good. A little bit of contact, ball put back up by Jeffrey Pika, the senior. And this lead's now cut to 9, 20 seconds to go here in the third.
Miles Montgomery just losing his footing on that transition, but luckily Pika right there to clean it up. And this energy I'm getting goosebumps now, Julian.
Well, and everybody here in the crowd, too. This place is getting a lot louder. My voice is getting higher. My volume's increasing, everyone else, and nothing will go down to end this third quarter. But Minford has cut the lead significantly from what was 14 down to 9. And right now, we're here at Shawnee State University in the Waller Gymnasium. You're watching the Battle in the 740 on Yamo Sports.
You'll never guess what we're doing to the Baconator. We're putting it...
pretzel bun? on the Baconator. Catherine, you seeing this?
Posters everywhere.
What?
The Baconator you love with a new pretzel twist. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new pretzel Baconator.
Football there. Football there. Football everywhere! What? How is that a flag?
He landed on him after the sack. That's roughing the passer.
Huh. Okay, what if he hit him high?
Roughing the passer.
And low?
Roughing the passer.
Well, what if he couldn't stop his body like a human, so he ends up trampling him, and then he's like, oh no, and he tries to go back, and he tramples him some more, and he's like, I'm so sorry, I'm a buffalo. I don't know my strength compared to you.
Wait, what?
Come on, ref! Let the boys play!
Man.
The recruiting process is rapidly evolving and has never been more complicated than it is today. On Top Consulting is an organization ran by college coaches who have created a business built around educating families on the details of the recruiting process and teaching student athletes how to put themselves in the best position. On Sunday, January 7th at 8 p.m., On Top Consulting is teaming up with the Brick League, Midwest Hoops, and IBT Academy to hold the first of many recruiting seminars. The first event will be on Zoom for $40 per family, and by signing up for that, you will put yourself in a position to get 25% off for any service that OTC offers just for attending that event. For more information on On Top Consulting, you can go to their website at ontopconsulting.net and register for the event. Click the link in their bio at _On Top Consulting. We hope to see you there.
Fourth quarter underway here between New Albany and Minford. As the three gets knocked down by number 0, Marco Matucci, and I saw that immediately after Matucci knocks down that three. You're going to see here in this instant replay the aftermath of what he did from that. Knocking down a three like that, of course, gets your blood pumping. But again, these kids have to be smart in a close game like this. Again, knocking down the three, turns around, gives them a little gesture, and just like that, that 3 points can easily only just be one if Montgomery knocks both of these technical free throws down.
And Minford knows what they're doing. They know that New Albany now is in a position where they are vulnerable. And if they continue to make these mistakes, they're just going to put Minford right back in this game. We're 7 minutes, 18 seconds to go. It's the final frame here. It's the battle in the 740. The battle in the 740 right now at Shawnee State University in the Waller Gymnasium. This is Julian Jackson alongside Seth Donahoe for this basketball contest. And this place is going to get rowdy. And right now, it feels like this is the last game of the evening, but we've still got time.
Yeah, we have one more game here at the end of the night. And Julian, I do want to say something here. One thing I'm going to be interested to watch coming down this stretch, Miles Montgomery, the man with the point ball, with the ball in his hand. And with those technical foul shots, these past few minutes, he has been pretty calm and composed. Here comes a three that's just short. But I'm interested to see how his calmness, his composure, his leadership is going to help to this team. So again, you're going to see right here that coming off that screen, shoots it and immediately running right to the basket.
And Kaiser pulling down the rebound, yeah.
If Kaiser was not going to get that rebound, Montgomery was going to do all he could to try and get it. So again, the junior point guard in Montgomery, I'm going to be interested to see in these last 7 minutes how he plays in a tightly contested, emotional, physical game.
Kaiser not having much luck from the free throw line for Minford as New Albany takes over with a 10-point lead, under 7 minutes to play. Ball now in the hands of Nash.
Minford crowd starting to come alive here.
Chase Bowles gives it up to Agbator. And Nash for another three. This time, not so friendly with the gesture.
A little look down, but Nash knocking down 2 threes here in this fourth quarter. He's starting to feel pretty good himself.
And Nash now with 8. Evenly distributed for the ball, and this is a low-scoring contest right now. Only 43-30. I think that they're going to end up scoring less than the Bishop Hartley game. When that game ended in overtime, a score of 51-50.
Yep.
So Minford, unless they keep on getting some technicals, I don't know. I'm not so sure they're going to be able to come back in this one, but we'll see. Miles Montgomery from deep. And a little contact.
Coach wanting a foul there as Montgomery coming down from that elevated shot, kind of got his feet tripped up with Kroylov, but the ref standing right there says no.
Agbador. He's going to look elsewhere. Krylov with the ball. Back to Miles Jackson, now to Agbador again. Miles Jackson for three. This one won't go. Krylov with the, almost with the rebound, but he's going to be called for the foul instead as it falls into the hands of Bennett Kaiser.
Yeah, that ball, like you said, just ended up in Kaiser's hands again. Let's see, two bodies there on the outside, on the opposite side of the rim for New Albany. Bennett Kaiser going up against Chase Bowles there before Krylov came in late. But right there, we've seen three bodies right there around that ball for New Albany. Instead, the ball ends up in Kaiser's hands, and he's in the beneficiary of a foul.
Kaiser now working these lanes, trying to figure out what they're going to do. Hands with Pika. Back to Kaiser. Kaiser working that left wing. Back to Pika. Now to Montgomery. Miles Montgomery. What will he do? Taking a drive.
Oh, great.
Sends it out to Pika for three.
Ooh.
And the three's good, but the shot is invalid. There's a charge. Miles Montgomery picking up the foul.
Yeah, and we're going to see this right here. Nice hesitation, crossover, dry baseline. And yeah, Agbador there with plenty of steps. A good read there to predict what Montgomery was going to do. And if he wasn't there for the charge, Miles Montgomery made a phenomenal play to find Pika right there on the wing. But as you said, points are invalid, and we have another timeout.
43-30. That's where it sits. 5:07 remaining in this contest. Miles Montgomery now with 3 fouls. That's one of their best players on their team. And the remaining game this evening, South Point versus Ashland of Kentucky. Those two teams just about, very close together. As you look at them on the map, one of them just across the river. Meanwhile, South Point is right here in the Portsmouth region. So both of these teams pretty local to the 740 area code. We're at Shawnee State University in the Waller Gymnasium. This game right now is Minford playing against New Albany. Tomorrow, first game of the day, 12:30, Belpre versus South Webster. That's a boys game. And we've got Fort Fry versus Portsmouth girls, followed by Valley of Lucasville versus Federal Hocking boys at 3:30, Wheelersburg and Harvest Prep. Good game to look forward to at 5. And then finishing it off with Uniota versus Fairland at 6:30 tomorrow night.
Yeah, a lot of good games here for the inaugural battle in the 740. First year here down around Portsmouth at Shawnee State, and it is a blast so far.
Agbador with the ball, battling against Montgomery. He gives it up to Nash. Nash back to Agbador. Agbador finding Bowles down low, and Miles Jackson for 2. Great left hand.
So the problem right there is the two guards in Montgomery and Rhodes got too far extended after they were so far out here by the volleyball line. New Albany was just able to work the ball around that left a kind of a little void in the entire paint.
Agbador, takeaway. He might see Miles Jackson. He's going to take it all himself, left hand, and it won't fall. Kaiser now got pushed around a little bit. I believe this foul is going to be charged to Miles Jackson.
No, it's actually going to go against Braylon Nash.
Braylon Nash, okay. They were both in
both
the
of them
area
in the
at
vicinity.
that time. Yeah. But you'd rather that be on Nash right now than I think be on Jackson. As I can see it, I think Jackson only has... he's got 3 fouls. You didn't want him to have 4, so that's good news for them. Kaiser, great hookup from Pika.
That's actually the assist from Shoemaker, and that's actually a play that they tried to do there in the beginning of this fourth quarter, except Shoemaker threw it a little over Kaiser's head, and it was a turnover. That time, ball right on the money for an easy basket for Kaiser.
Great to be able to see a big man put the ball where it needs to be. I think it's one of a lineman's dreams to always be able to, play quarterback like that, and he did it right there. Kaiser with the finish.
Having a big man be able to get some assists for you, they feel pretty good after
Jackson, open three. He hesitated first, then he took it. Now rebound, Nash, and he's fouled.
And just a loose ball foul there, as Pika's going to pick that one up.
So right now we're just one foul away before New Albany gets in the bonus. Or I'm sorry, 2 fouls away before Minford is in the bonus. No, we're just a couple fouls away before both teams end up in a double bonus via the new high school rules in Ohio.
Again, for those that don't know, 5 fouls, the double bonus, getting reset after each quarter. No more 1-and-1s at 7. No more double bonus at 10. So something a little different that we all have to get accustomed to.
I kind of like it, though. I think that it's going to speed up the game quite a bit rather than just having a bunch of 1-and-1s, and when you foul, it's going to penalize the team even more. Great take to the bucket. That's Nash once again.
Finds himself in double digits now with 10.
Now the big man rolling in. He's going to pick up a foul.
Yeah, that's going to be on Bowles. You could easily call that when he started falling down. You'll see here. I think before Shoemaker even made contact with him, so
just
easily
lost his feet a little bit.
Lost your footing. We'll see here.
Because you got to stand up straight against that guy. If you were trying to take a charge, get your feet set, my man. But either way, he could have just got tripped up a little bit and lost his footing. But Bowles is a big guy, and New Albany football knows. Now we've got 3:16 left in this one. The lead now 15. Pretty commanding lead for New Albany. And about to check into the game for Minford is going to be, who is this?
Pika.
Jackson Shoemaker, I think, is about to come up off the bench. Or is that Pika?
That's Pika, number 11.
Both two big bodies. Never can tell. Oh, because Shoemaker's at the line. He's about to shoot too.
Yeah, he's the one going up against Bowles there on that drive.
So they're now on the double bonus, Minford.
Yeah, there was some confusion down there on the court. Looks like both teams are kind of getting set up to throw an inbounds pass, but good job here by the scores table to make sure that the right calls are being made here. As, like you said, New Albany at the 5 foul mark, so that is a double bonus for Minford. 13-point lead here for the Eagles with just over 3 remaining.
Bowles with the basketball. Big man's dribbling around the perimeter. He's looking for someone else to break out. Wanted to get it to Nash, and it was tipped away.
Luckily,
now in the hands of Lash, back to Bowles.
Luckily, Agbedo right there at that loose ball.
Agbedo back in it. Everyone's sitting down in the blocks, waiting to break out. Braylon Nash begging for the ball. Bowles, turn around. That's a good block shot. If he wanted to take the 2, he could. Now, they're just going to play a little keep away here. If they're not going to come out to get him, they're not going to mess with it at all. They're not going to force anything, no ill-advised shots. Yeah. And Miles Jackson now fouled, and that's going to be credited to Bennett Kaiser.
Yeah, and you know, from our experience, yours and mine, Julian, we've seen quite a few of these Columbus area teams before, you know, New Albany, Olentangy, Liberty, Bishop, Hartley, and especially here like Bishop, Hartley, and New Albany. These teams, once they get a lead, they are okay with how it turns out, you know?
Yeah,
it's 47-34 lead right now, up 13. They don't have to put 80 points on the scoreboard. They have plenty of time here to go ahead. They know that Minford has to start fouling to try to get back in this game. Right now in the double bonus, that's going to send Agbedo to the line.
2:32 to play. Final frame. 47-34. The Eagles over the Falcons. Agbedo makes the first. You just want to get out of this contest clean. You know, I wonder if they'll still shake them up afterward. I think they should. I don't see any reason why not.
Yeah, they definitely will. Again, just moments like that, you know, the blood is pumping, your emotions are running high. You know, somebody doesn't like how one player reacts to something, so some things get a little heated. There may be a little more bad, I don't want to say bad blood here at the end of this game. Feelings might not be as mutual between a couple of respective players, but at the end of the game, all these players will definitely line up wish each other the best the rest of the season.
And Bowles for 2 points as Kaiser contests that, but it goes through the cylinder anyway. And I think in this one you got to take your licks if you're Minford and you just realize that, you know, you got beat by the better team in this contest, and they let you back in it. If it wasn't for some of those techs, it could be 50. The lead could be well over 20.
Yeah.
So, and Miles Montgomery here for a nice three-pointer. It's 51-37 now with about 90 seconds to play.
And we had talked about, you know, the past few seasons, actually Minford not knowing for being one of the best basketball programs, but over the past 2 years, you know, they have really excelled, finishing last season with a 22-2 record. So they have a lot to look forward to. They may consider this a down year for them, but again, 2 seniors on the roster. They have a lot to look forward to this season and next season. And,
all right. Well, it's Miles Jackson there with another shot, and you know, it's about time. And I think that we got caught up in so many other things, but start considering the solid brick player of the game. Nominees right now, looking like Miles Montgomery, but he's playing with Minford. So if you look at the other nominees from New Albany, I would definitely have to go ahead and put Miles Jackson in that camp, scoring 13 right now. Also like to go ahead and put, who's our other guy? Agbador definitely is one of those guys who could be eligible for it with 11 right now.
Yeah, you could definitely throw those 2 guys in there. And a name that I'm going to throw in the hat here is number 3, Braylon Nash. You know, kind of being on the receiving end. Well, not being on the receiving end, but involved in some of those scrummages, receiving a technical foul. And he was able to keep himself cool for the rest of this game. And he played a big factor here in this fourth quarter, scoring 8 points, I believe, or 6 points
at
here
least with those 3-point shots.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, ended up picking up the technical there after the, you know, that initial 3 that's put them back into a commanding lead, but then it cost them some points as well. So, you know, you have to be smart on all parts of the floor, and he's going to go ahead and off and take a breather probably for the rest of this contest. So I like you throwing his hat into the hat, or throwing his hat into the ring for that, but, you know, we'll just have to see when it all comes down. We'll have a nice little discussion and see who becomes the solid brick player of the game for this contest between the Falcons and New Albany and the Falcons and Minford and the Eagles of New Albany.
And you guys can check out all of the interviews here later tonight on Yamo Media Twitter page or X page at Yamo Media, and on Instagram at Yamo Media 614.
Under 10 ticks here on this one. Bowles is going to hold this one out as people start walking off the floor, and great to see some sportsmanship and some handshakes even before the final buzzer as Bowles held it out and dapping up a big Jackson Shoemaker from Minford. So the final in this contest, 53-39 here at Shawnee State University's Waller Gymnasium for the battle in the 7-4-0. Seth, solid brick player of the game?
You know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and I think we'll go ahead and give it here to Agbador. Sayrum Agbador. He finished this game here with 11 points, but he wasn't the leading scorer, but that's okay, because when you are going to be this player of the game, he did so many other things to help his team in getting this win. So Sayrum Agbador, he's going to be our solid brick player of the game.
Okay, terrific. Well, the other teams are about to take the floor right now, and it's South Point versus Ashland of Kentucky. That right here is coming up in 15 minutes after the break. So you're watching the battle in the 7-4-0 at Shawnee State University, brought to you by Yamo Sports.